I'm just going to do a live stream for this week's weight loss update. What I got going on here is I got 2 of those hamburger patties cooking, and I'm going to add some eggs. We're going to make a burger bowl while I discuss what's going on this week. So I did my weigh in first thing in the morning. I'm down to 303 pounds. So minus 435. What is that? 132 pounds of weight loss. Am I right there? Yeah, 132 pounds of weight loss is what I have accomplished in a year, and today is a solid year. So yeah, we're just trying to, I'm tired. I've been fasting all week. I've been fasting for the last 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago I started a 36-hour rolling fast where I did 36 hours straight. I had a 12-hour feeding window. I lost about 5 pounds that week. Now when I started all that 2 weeks ago, somehow my weight got up to about 320 pounds when I started, and I lost at least 5 pounds in that 1 week with that 36 rolling hour type fast. And then I proceeded through the weekend, and I saw another YouTuber out there that was losing weight and doing really well, by the way, using a 65-hour fast with a 6-hour feeding window. And I thought that was quite interesting because he's been doing this for a while. He's been able to maintain it and sustain it for a long period of time. So I wanted to try that for at least a week to see how I thought about it, because fasting, there's all kinds of different fastings we can do. 24-hour fasting is really popular. OMAD type fasting, super popular as well, because that's like the baseline easiest type of fast. And intermittent fasting, which is just basically it's as simple as skipping breakfast and eating lunch and dinner. That's intermittent fasting right there, for those that might not know. But so right now what I got going on here is I got these hamburger patties. I got them all chopped up. I'm trying to get them cooked down real good. Now I use some of that Wagyu beef tallow. Who do we got in here? Don Schroger. Hey, thanks for jumping in there, Don. Yeah, we're just doing my weight loss update on a live stream because I don't have a lot of time to be doing a video. This like a really solid sit down, like let's record a video this weekend. The weather has been so bipolar here in Alaska. For a while there, we had a good couple of weeks where I was out able to get on the mountain bike, do some riding around the trails, and go hiking on some of the hiking paths. That was fun. But and then it started snowing. And it was just absolutely ridiculous for a while. So, it's just, that is how it is. But this 65-hour fast that I just got done doing, actually, the first one went fine. It went as scheduled. I shortened the feeding windows to start another 65-hour fast. That fast went extremely well too. It was super powerful, super strong fast, and I felt great up until, let's see, Friday. And Friday I started getting that little feeling in the back of my nose, like I might be getting sick. So I decided to break that fast. Pretty close to dinner time was around the time I broke that fast. I think it was like 70 or 80 hours. It was a long fast, so I extended it along because my original fasting time was ending at 3:30 in the morning. I got up the next morning and I just carried it on through the day. But as soon as I started feeling a little weak and I started feeling sick, that was the time to end a fast anyways. So if you start feeling sick when you're fasting, it's always a good idea to end the fast if you start feeling like you're actually getting sick, because you're no longer going to be benefiting yourself because your body's stressed. You're not feeling good, for one. It's just a pain in the butt there. Let's see. I did a 240-hour fast in March. That's impressive. Good job. Yeah, I don't know what a solid 5-day fast is, what the hours are on it. I've never figured it out, but 24 hours times 5 shouldn't be too hard to figure out. But I've done several 5-day fasts. I've done several 5-day fasts where you can actually have food, keto-friendly type foods like eggs, something like that, eggs or sardines. 2 of my favorite fasts on the carnivore diet is the hard-boiled eggs, and I make sure they're hard-boiled because I don't want the extra calories of cooking eggs and fats or anything else that might screw up the fast, because it's kind of a pain in the butt when your fast gets a little screwed up. I got a putty cat here somewhere. I don't know. I got a flat tire dog down here, which is hanging out. My daughters are in the bedroom over here doing their thing, playing Minecraft. Let's see what we got going on in here. Say hi, girls. Hi. There's both of my beautiful daughters. They're sitting here playing Minecraft. That's the mean kitty, by the way. That's the one that'll rip your frickin' finger off if you're not careful. That cat's bipolar. That's my dog Sadie. So, but anyways, I gotta get back to cooking this meat over here, and yeah, let's get this up and going because I'm getting hungry. This is so, like I said, I broke my fast last night. I had some eggs to start breaking the fast. Then I had some burgers as well shortly after that, and everything went good. I slept like a freaking rock last night. So get you guys set up over here so you can see what's going on while I'm cooking. But yeah, just basically hamburger meat going on right now. I need to salt it up a little bit before I remove it from the pan. So this is just 2 patties chopped up. I'm just tossing on a little Himalayan salt. Probably a lot of Himalayan salt. That's okay. And yeah, I added some of this this wonderful Wagyu. Oh my goodness, so good. By the way, beef tallow. Oh my gosh, that and a little bit of bacon fat, so I get a slight bit of bacon flavor in there. And then once I get all this meat out of here, we're going to toss the eggs in, and we're going to let the eggs do their thing. But I need to find a bowl. This is usually what I use, is something like this. This is just like a ramen noodle type bowl, and I can buy these locally here at I can either get them at Nusagaya, or I can get them at the Red Apple, and I believe that's where these came from, was the Red Apple, because the Red Apple here in Alaska, it's set up more towards the Asian shoppers. We got a lot of Asians, we got a lot of Samoans, Somalians, people from all over the world live over there in Mountain View. And that store is very, very diverse. They have some amazing deals too. Yeah, I don't know if you guys got a Red Apple anywhere down south, but and I did some research years ago on Red Apple, you know, because Red Apple is one of those like neighborhood type stores, and they're actually kind of all over the place, but everywhere they're at, they really focus on the local population. So it's not just providing groceries; they're providing groceries to, you know, whatever nationalities live in that area. So they focus on that instead of just, you know, like Walmart tends to do. They just focus on random freaking groceries from all over the world. They bring them in the store and just set them up for a little bit. But, all right, we got all that done. There is my yummy burger bowl for the day, my carnivore burger bowl. And the whole carnivore thing so far has been working out really well. I mean, I've been able to maintain the carnivore diet for quite some time, and I like it. I like it because I'm not adding in a lot of fruits. I'm not adding in a lot of vegetables anymore, which tend to confuse everything that I'm trying to do. All right, you get in there and you guys do your thing. So yeah, we're just throwing in the eggs. We got 4 eggs. They're pretty small white eggs. We're gonna put those, you know, on top of whatever's been going on in the pan already. We're gonna let these things cook up a little bit. I'm gonna have to turn the heat up slightly. See if I can get them to start frying. Maybe if I'm lucky. Anyhow, guys, so how's everybody doing this weekend? I mean, right now it is, we're about 20 minutes before 12, you know, noontime, lunchtime. And this is typically when I would eat breakfast anyways, because I'm not a big breakfast eater in the first place. So this works out pretty well for me. And my house was an absolute disaster this morning. So yeah, I had dishes everywhere. I had just stuff. My wife's working on a video right now. So I got that going on in the house. My kids are just running back and forth doing their thing. My son had to go out to Eagle River to do something for JLRTC. And of course we got this long guy over here. This is a Dusty Bear. That takes up like, holy crap. You take up almost the whole screen, buddy. You know, you guys said you want to see my cat. There's one of them. This is the newest one. And when we got it, it was a kitten. I mean, beautiful, beautiful cat. This one is so full of love, and it always just does the most cantankerous freaking things. Trump 2024, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with anybody as long as the economy goes back to freaking normal. Because I'm just so sick and tired of paying ultra high prices for everything when we shouldn't be. Everybody, like even the president and all the freaking news places were saying that, hey, everything's just going to be inflated temporarily. It's going to go back down. Everybody knew. I knew it. Everybody else around the country knew that was a bunch of bull honky, because as soon as they raise the prices and people get accustomed to those prices, they're not going to come back down. They're going to make some excuse to keep the price the same. Even if they're not paying as much for the service, they're just going to keep it up there. The meat prices went up. The cost of eggs went up. The cost of butter, the cost of just crap. I mean, even ramen noodles. I mean, I did a video a long time ago on ramen noodles, and then the price of those went way up through the roof. And then all of a sudden the price came way back down. I mean, it was just like, what is going on here? I mean, we can't hardly keep a roof over our heads anymore. And then I watched my bank account just go, it just went down. I mean, I had a good savings for a while, and then I got morbidly obese, and then I got sick, and then I got, sleep apnea and all that crap to go with it. And it was just, I couldn't get healthy. And it took me a while to figure out how to do fasting, what type of fasting I was going to try. And my first ever fast was a 5-day water fast. And that 5-day water fast was the one that actually got me some good solid results in 5 days. So 435 pounds. I did a 5-day water fast. I lost 30 pounds right off the bones. I felt like a new person at the end of that 5 days. I mean, it was traumatizing going 5 days without food, not knowing if I'm doing the right thing or not, because how many years have we've been told to do, certain things to lose weight, better health, get better blood pressure, watch our cholesterol, this or that, and then come to find out that it's a better idea just to eat meats and fats, and that's it. Skip all the freaking fruits, skip all the vegetables, and here we go. It just works. Let's see, because I had too many problems. Why is the math book sad? Because I had too many problems. That's a good one there. I like that one. That's actually funny. Like I said, I'm still tired. Oh, I think I ruined my eggs. Yep, I'm pretty sure. Okay, we're just gonna make a mess out of these real quick. Let's see what I can salvage out of this pan. This isn't working out the way I wanted it to. All right. There's one egg. Just flip it over. I really don't care as long as they're not burned, but I made a mess out of this pan. It's only because I'm doing a live stream. That's usually when I make all the mistakes in the kitchen. So that's part of the entertainment value, guys. And whoa, what's that big blue thing? I got something on my screen that I'm not used to seeing there. What is that? Hey, I thank you there. $1.99. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I have an option to like that too, so I'm gonna like that. I'm not sure what this over here is. There's a heart. Oh, I can put a heart on there too. I don't know. I'm not used to seeing these things on my live streams, but I appreciate that. Putty Cat, or is that Putty Cat? No, that's BA. We all hate Putty Cat, but we love you. Oh my goodness, you're funny. I appreciate you there. I like it when people just act random and act natural, because it is what it is, guys. I mean, I'm just a fat guy just trying to get healthy. I'm trying to share the journey. Over this period of time, I've gotten a lot of hatred for doing the carnivore diet. I've gotten a lot of dirty looks. I mean, even when I get out on the trails, I get a lot of weird looks, because I tend to wear that plaid shirt that you guys see me wearing the thumbnails. I'm just wearing clothes I'm comfortable in now, because I wasn't comfortable in any clothes before. And before, I was walking around in Carhartt overalls all the time, because that was what I was comfortable in. I couldn't sit down, like even in a restaurant, comfortably, without that type of clothing. And then even these, even this here, when I started losing weight, this did not fit. This thing was too tight. I mean, can you imagine me having that much more inside this jacket. That's a lot of difference, guys. You know, I don't know. I just want to get out there and say, you know, to anybody that's suffering from obesity, you know, hey, I figured out how to lose weight. It's really not that hard. I didn't put in a lot of effort. Yes, it does require eating less food, but that's where the fasting practice comes in. And I say practice because even me, it took a lot of practice to get good at fasting. And then I kind of made a hobby out of it. And when I had that hobby mentality to fasting, that handle is really deceiving. It's super hot. Ow. Yeah, we're going to dump these eggs on in there. I am going to put some sauce on there, you know, because I do like a little bit of flavor. Let's see, what else do I want to put in there that I like? Now, there are some items that I had to cut way back on. One is cheese, because cheese seems to slow me down. So since I'm getting ready to start another fast, I'm going to probably start that tonight. So I'm going to eat like a normal human being today, and then we're going to start fasting tonight again. I'm guessing around 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. I don't really get too fussy on my start times or my end times, because I try to make sure my end time shows up at a time that I'm not hungry. And that's a great secret to extending your fast and getting more benefits out of it. I don't know which cheese I want to use. I want to try a white cheese. I have found out that a lot of the white cheeses, you know, just the color white, actually tend to work better than this stuff here. And this really doesn't have any flavor. I can't remember, what is this? Let me see what cheese this is, because we like to get a lot of random cheeses. And we don't like to buy the overly processed crap. That's the Colby Jack cheese. So this California brand of Colby Jack cheese does not really have any flavor overtone at all. Now the California brand of, hey, KetoVore Journey, $5. Hey, well, 5 pounds. I don't know what that equates to, but thank you. I'm going to hit the like button on that in the heart. I appreciate you. But back to the brand California. Now we find this brand here in our Costco, but the Swiss cheese, whew, that is good. Okay, if you like Swiss cheese, that's a good one from California. And it also didn't really screw up any of my progress for, you know, losing weight or anything like that. But I want to get some of this out. What I have here on top is the jalapeno, either jalapeno or habanero cheese. This works pretty good. Now you just don't want to get crazy with cheese. So for something like this, and since I've been fasting, it's okay to get a little heavy on it right now. It's not going to do any damage, because I'm going to go right back into doing a 65-hour fast sometime tonight or this evening. And I'm going to make sure that I get plenty of, you know, nutritious meats, nutritious fats, you know, either from eggs, hamburger, some cheese. And then I'm going to start another 65-hour fast, and it's probably going to turn into something like a 70-hour fast. But that's perfect. And the reason I started doing the 65-hour fast in the first place is because the longer you fast, you get more healing benefits. It starts replacing more bad cells in your body. You know, if you got, you know, potential cancer cells, that's really why I wanted the extra fasting time in there. And then it also helps reset the gut health too. So that's super helpful. We're going to get this put away. Put you back in the fridge where you belong. Now, if I get sugar cravings when I'm not fasting, you know, something I use that's not on the carnivore plane, but something I use that doesn't spike the blood sugar and curbs the entire craving process for me is these, just these blueberries right here. We get these blueberries from Costco, and it is a natural thing for Native Alaskans to crave stuff that's from the local area. Granted, those aren't from here, but we do have a lot of different blueberry type items, you know, here in Alaska, because once blueberry season starts, they're everywhere, and they don't spike the blood sugar. I could eat a whole flat of those blueberries, not spike the blood sugar. I can actually somewhat stay in ketosis if I keep them down. If I don't eat the whole flat, I can stay in ketosis. And everything's just fine. We're going to add a little bit of, this stuff's pretty good. I like the flavor of this. And let's see, what else we got here? I'm not sure. We're going to put a dab of, a little bit of this on there too. Just because I like that little vinegar type twang it's got. And cover this up. But yeah, guys, so yeah, I did lose in the last year 132 pounds with carnivore, with doing keto. That switched over to KetoVore, and then it went to carnivore type eating. My weight loss slowed down a lot when I started carnivore, by the way, just so everybody's clear. My weight loss slowed way down. Carnivore is not a weight loss strategy, but it is one of the best maintenance strategies. So once you get down to a weight, and if you haven't tried carnivore before, it's just eating, you know, animal products, meat and fat and cheese and butter and dairy. The bacon fat's not bad for you, I found out. So yeah, we're gonna sit down and enjoy some of this freaking yum here. All right, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I gotta hit that button there. There it is. I totally lost what was going on there because I did something. Let's celebrate their first super on live stream. Hey, appreciate it there. Not sure what that does. Huh. Okay, let's go. That's right. Yeah, let's go. I like that. Why ban me? I have followers this channel for months. Putty Cat. Oh, Putty Cat's all right. Let's see. Another donation. Let's see. Hey, I recommend I read Berserk. It's 18 plus, but it's good about army fighting. Okay, interesting. I have nothing against you being a BA. It's a free country. Right on. George Jacqueline Swiss cheese is from Switzerland. Amish baby Swiss cheese. Nice old school tea kettle. That's something my kid bought. I wish you would have asked me before they bought that, because it's a little bit too big in circumference, so it takes up a lot of space it doesn't need to, considering when you're boiling water, you're not like filling that whole kettle up. I mean, they usually boil water for making noodles. My son is like addicted to ramen noodles. I don't know if I can ever break that, but he's addicted to ramen noodles. He's addicted to cereal at like 10 o'clock at night before he goes to bed. And then he wonders why he wakes up feeling like caca. But I guess we all live and we learn the hard way. I know I did. Because, yeah, I mean, if my father sat me down and taught me all of this, I would have sat there, I would have listened to him, but I still would have went about my way of learning everything the hard way. It's just human nature, I guess. But I think if we watch what our parents do and we think back to when we were children, you know, what did we do? What did we seriously, you know, take from them? Because there was a lot of financial advice from my dad that I still use today. There was also a lot of just socializing type advice that I still use today from my dad. And one of those things is you must first give your permission to somebody before they can piss you off. That is gold. You know, since I actually took that, you know, and put it to heart, I don't get angry with anybody anymore. I got employers all the time that are saying this or that. Sometimes I might get, you know, in trouble at work. They might say something hateful. All right, what do you want me to do better next time? Or do we even have a next time? Are you going to let me go? If they let me go, then okay, let's do something else. It's all right. Oh, man. That is good. Yeah, I can definitely taste the Wagyu. The Wagyu beef tallow. That makes it so much better. That tastes better than adding butter. Now, butter is just another natural fat that I used to put in here because I never had tallow. I didn't even know what tallow was. You know, I used to hear, I think it was Ribeye Rach. I was following her a long time ago, and she was doing a lot of tallow skin products. And even at that time, I was just like tallow. I didn't even know what tallow was, and I didn't even care about checking into it. And then somebody sent me that big container of beef tallow, and I actually got to try it, and I was like, oh, it changes everything. It just makes it so good. And if there's a little bit left over, it's going to go to my dog. My dog's probably living longer now that I'm doing a carnivore diet, because she gets a lot of the scraps, she gets a lot of the ends, she gets a lot of the fat or grizzly pieces, and go figure, that's healthy for dogs. It doesn't. I don't think so, Shannon. Now for me, I know the butter did, and whenever I used coconut oil, out of all things, that did. But like the horrible, crappy seed oils, boy, those are bad news. Just horrible stuff. I didn't realize what all the seed oils were doing to me. Like just the spray on the pan type oils like Pam or that other canola oil spray on crap. I didn't know. We were just buying budget stuff, thinking we were, saving money. We didn't realize we were creating more situations where we were going to have to go to the doctor and feel like crap. Yeah, seriously, you get rid of that oil just for cooking, health improves pretty quickly. Get rid of the high fructose corn syrup, same thing. Get rid of a lot of the sugar, same thing. But I got to be realistic when I talk to people, because I know most people they're not just going to give up sugar. They're not just going to give up their cookies. So I got to think outside the box when talking about stuff, because I want to reach those people too. Those people that are suffering, because and they don't even know they're suffering, which is the hardest part. Okay. Really greasy thing sticks to the roof of my mouth, not just tallow. Yeah, the tallow is really not affecting me much. Now down at the bottom of this bowl, yeah, there's a lot of juice down there. By the time I get done, there won't be next to anything. Just checking on some of the comments there. All right. Once again, barbecue dinner time. Racing time for the rain to come. Yeah, I just wish it would stop snowing. We've had way too much snow this year, and then we had some really beautiful weather that we could actually get outside, and then it's just started snowing again. It's absolutely nuts. Yes, eggs and beef, absolutely. Eggs and beef. I got a little bit of different cheeses in here. One slice of Havarti cheese broken up, and one slice of jalapeno cheese broken up. Some sriracha sauce, and a little drizzle of my favorite barbecue sauce. And it's just so good. There's so many healthy fats. There's so many nutrients in this bowl right here. And since I'm going to start fasting again at the end of tonight, on to next week, because I didn't reach my goal this week. So I didn't get down below 300 pounds, to even try to stay there. So we're going to try fasting again. We're just going to continue 65-hour rolling fasting up until next weekend and see how that works, because I'm on a mission, guys. I want to get down below 300 pounds, and I want to stay there, and not just because it's going to be healthier, because I'm tired of being over 300 pounds. I'm right at 300 pounds right now. I mean, 303. And as soon as you start fasting, that weight, stop fasting. As soon as you stop fasting, that weight tends to climb back up, and it climbs back up because then we're going to start retaining water. So by the end of tonight, if I weighed myself, yeah, I'd probably realistically be 308 pounds by this evening, because I ate food. I'm going to be drinking more water. My body's going to retain some of that water. It's going to hold on to it so it can digest the food, move the food through. But then when I start fasting, it's going to get that food processed and out. And then it's also going to start, getting rid of the water. So then the water weight's going to come off as well. That's always been a problem for me when it comes to working out. I'm a truck driver. I'm a lazy guy. I'm the laziest guy losing weight. I mean, I could have been in a wheelchair and pretty much figured this out myself. I mean, so that's why I try to share this stuff. It's because I was almost stuck. I was almost immobile in bed. I couldn't exercise. I was constantly being bombarded from people at my hospital telling me to, go to the clinic, go get seen, go exercise, learn nutrition. Well, their nutrition plans sucked. I mean, they might work for a percentage of people, but they didn't work for me. I started following their guidance and their guidelines, and I started having medical issues. I was having a hard time breathing. I was having asthma attacks because I was eating so many vegetables. So many other foods that they were recommending were creating histamine issues. So my sinuses were always gummed up. besides that, I was 400 pounds. I was 400 pounds, and they were forcing me to eat vegetables. They weren't forcing me. I was doing it at my own free will, upon recommendation. But it seemed like every time I tried doing something they recommended, it got worse. Everything got worse. And then once I figured out, okay, let's just knock it all off, remove everything for a period of time, see what's doing what. No different than if you were feeding a newborn baby. You wouldn't start out feeding a newborn baby just a whole bunch of random ingredients. No, you start out with something simple like peas or green beans or chicken or pork. Or, you know what I mean. We just start out simple single ingredients, and that's what we have to do as adults after we screwed ourselves up for 20 or 30 years. If not, you're wasting your time. Your diet will only be so much. You need to sleep, work out, and diet. I absolutely agree with that to some point. But when you're 400 pounds or more, when you just start working out, you're going to injure yourself. You're going to have shoulder issues. You're going to have joint issues. You're going to have foot issues. Plantar fasciitis is one that many people get, especially when they're starting to transition into a lower weight. That was something that was extremely hard for me, by the way. So I was losing weight. I was losing weight quickly. I was losing weight so fast without any exercise, by the way. I was losing weight, with healthy type fasting. I was having my electrolytes, my vitamins, everything. My ABCs were covered. My blood pressure was finally coming back down to normal. Everything about what was going on inside my body was starting to readjust. But my feet, my legs, my knees, my hips, my back, it was like the pain went away from the top all the way down. So I started losing the neck pains and the lower back pains, I believe, first. And then a lot of my foot pains and knee pains started going away pretty quickly. We're talking like over 6 months. And over 6 months is really a short time when you're not really that focused on exercise at that point. But when I started, exercising, I would go injure myself, and then I would seriously be stuck here at the table. I couldn't do nothing. I was hurt. My feet were hurt. My knees were hurt. Something about me was hurt. I couldn't bend over to pick up stuff anyways because I was morbidly obese. And when something fell on the floor, I'd ask my kids to go get it because it was hard for me to get down on the floor to pick up stuff, let alone tie my shoes. Let's see, start doing yoga. Nothing wrong with doing yoga. Let's see. Be Muslim, brother. Nope, I'm a Christian. I don't mind. Let's see. Read the Quran. You're going to be well. I have read the Quran, by the way. I read the Quran, I read the Bible. I read several different holy versions of this or that. And that's kind of what we do when we grow up. We just got to find our own journey. I tried to find my own truth by doing that. I spent several years visiting every single church I could come to. Didn't matter if it was a Muslim church, I didn't care. A mosque or something like that. Yeah, I'd go hang out there. Eat Korean churches. Didn't matter to me. We're all trying to be good people and learn a little bit. And it was all good stuff there. But yes, there's a lot of similarities between the two. I even spent time in Salt Lake City and hung out at the whatever that place is there, where the Mormons hang out in Salt Lake City. They have a very interesting place there. You can go into this building and you can go downstairs. You can look up potential genealogy on their computer, and you can find out a lot about your family tree that way. And it's pretty interesting. They got a lot of information in those buildings. Yes, God is great. Beer is bad and people are crazy. That's an unfortunate situation there. So after this, I'm probably going to get dressed. I only put this on because I don't know why I started the live stream when I didn't have a shirt on. I was like, okay, well, let's put a shirt on so not everybody has to look at me. Like, at least that much. That's a little too much. Okay, KetoVore Candy, you missed the weigh-in. That's okay. We can talk about this 12 times if people ask. So when I weighed in this morning, I was 303 pounds. And just missed my mark. But I think that had to do a little bit, not 100%. I think that had to do a little bit as I had to stop my fast last night around dinner time because I was starting to feel that little itchy feeling in the backside of your nose. So I thought I was getting sick. And when you're getting sick, it's a great idea just to stop fasting. Eat something healthy, eat something nutritious, break your fast slow. I broke my fast with hard boiled eggs. And then shortly later, I started eating, some burger patties and stuff like that. I came out pretty easy. I haven't had any problems as a result of that, except for potential being over 300 pounds still. But yeah, I do believe after this next week, I'm going to be rock solid down below there. And then the process after that is going to continue doing some type of fasting for a period of time to get me down closer to 290 or 289, right in that neighborhood. I'll be satisfied with that, and then I'll focus on maintenance for a little while and see what happens from there. But yeah, 132 pounds of weight loss in the last year, so that's a big thumbs up for me. I'm happy with that number. I mean, but it seems like no matter what we do, there's always somebody out there telling us, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to exercise more. It's like rocket science, guys. Come on. It's like Captain Obvious just walked in the building. This is stuff that I've been doing my entire life. I've been fighting with weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, just like everybody else. But I've actually figured out a way to solidly take it off, maintain that weight loss. And it's like people don't understand how it works. That's why I come out here, try to explain stuff like this. Fish problem. What fish problem are you talking about? Okay, so because of that the case. What in the world you got talking about vaccination and boosting? We're going to discuss vaccinations today. Chicken butt. How you on, chicken butt? Let's see. I mean, the real question is, did you get vaccinated and boosted? Okay, if you want to know the answer to that, which is a personal answer, by the way, but I'm more than happy to talk about personal stuff because this is literally what I do. Yes, I was vaccinated. I wasn't boosted. I was double vax, not boosted. I stopped right there. I was like, all right, this is nonsense. And the only reason I did that was because of employment at the time, because everybody was freaking out about COVID. I mean, they were freaking out so bad they weren't even letting people in buildings use restrooms. Half the city of Anchorage had their restrooms closed because everybody was so terrified of COVID, like it's going to live on the freaking bathroom stall wall and you're going to lick it and get COVID. It was so much nonsense wrapped around the whole topic. But so, yeah, I thought it was a good idea at that time to go get the vaccination. I did get the vaccination, and then I got another one. And every time that I got the vaccination, I got sick. I got horribly sick. I was sick for at least 3 days with the majority of the side effects that were mentioned, before, from other people. I haven't noticed any prolonged, like, after effects from the vaccination. So I'm just thankful there. We're just going to move on with life. I don't care. Because, I mean, if you want to get vaccinated, go ahead. If you don't, that's fine with me too. I don't feel any less safe or dangerous either way. If there's some little virus out there that's going to kill us, it's going to kill us regardless of if we're wearing a silly freaking mask over our face. I mean, that mask didn't do a whole lot of anything. And those masks aren't meant to be worn all day long. I mean, they're only meant for like an hour, and then you're supposed to change it. Why wear a mask all day long everywhere you go? You're just breathing in your own filth. And good chance you might get pneumonia from your own bacteria in your mouth because you're going to exhale and then you're going to accidentally breathe in a chunk of something that doesn't belong in there, and it's right in front of your face. It's a muzzle. In my opinion, I think more people got sick because they were wearing that mask. They weren't getting enough oxygen to the brain. That was probably why they were a little sensitive to it. And there was a lot of fear. It was really annoying. Yeah, there was a ton of fear wrapped around it. And it was being pumped with flashy lights, quick screens, the typical editing type stuff that YouTubers would do. But the news broadcasters are doing it. I mean, I can't even watch the news anymore because there's too much going on the screen. It's like I can't just listen to the news. I have to watch this stupid thing scrolling this way, and then they got another one coming this way, and then big words flashing up in your face and a bunch of bright lights, and then quick transitions to this or that. And it's all designed to make you forget what they talked about 5 seconds ago. So you're not going to quote them on anything. Yeah, you can say it was about work and restrooms, but the fact is, based on fear, They manipulated you into doing so, coerced you. Yeah, they didn't really coerce me into doing anything. I just got fed up. And I was like, you know what? If this stupid shot's going to make people shut up, because I was using that as a tool. When people started acting like, oh, COVID this, COVID that, and I walk in a room and they'd be like, shut up. I got my freaking booster card or shot card right here. I said, what do you got? And they would shut up immediately after that because I was just done with it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a ton of fear mongering going on. But the funny thing is, with all that fear mongering, you remember all the preppers that were out there talking about this or that? Yeah, they were right. I mean, I really scared my wife at the beginning of the pandemic because I laid out for her exactly what was going to happen in a specific timeline. I said, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And if we get to this point, where they really start needing us to have these papers in our hands to go to jobs, I said, we have lost this country at that point, like completely lost this country at that point. And I did. I had an essential workers piece of paper that was issued by the government. So if that ever happened, I could still go do my essential job, whatever that means. But yeah, at that time I worked for a company that was hauling mail for the post office, and that was called an essential government job. So all these government employees, we all got sent a piece of paper, saying that no matter what the situation is, we have to go to work. You can't just stop us if there was a roadblock, let's say. And that never happened. So yeah, God bless, and I'm thankful that didn't. Let's see, what's poison? I don't know what you're talking about now. But yeah, I don't know what was in those vaccines. You can call them poison. You can call them helpful. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care. It's water under the bridge. I can't go back and change it now. I mean, if I could, I would. I'd go back and not have it. But yeah, but I didn't take it so I had to work. I took it just to shut people up, because I was just sick and tired of people being so fussy about, this dang virus that's going around. You're going to get it regardless. If you got a mask on, you're still going to get it. You think it's not going to find its way around that little tiny mask you got in front of your face? I mean, yeah, it's just absolutely nonsense. But yeah, there was a lot of people hurt by it. There was a lot of people hurt by the virus too. The person that bought one of my homes passed away. I think it's probably been a couple of years now. But yeah, they bought my home, they fixed it up, and as soon as they got the home fixed up and looking nice, they died. I mean, wow. It was just like out of nowhere too. It seemed like. Yes, absolutely. That's all I would have had to do is say I'm not taking it, but I wasn't worried about it. I'm not scared about the little nonsense. I knew at my age, when I got the vaccine, I wasn't too worried about it because after all those years in the military and how many mystery shots they gave us when I was in the military, I mean, it's hard to say that this or that screwed me up after all that because there was a lot of mystery shots in there. Nobody has yet to tell me what the heck desert sickness is. Everybody got a booster shot because of desert sickness. What is it? A lot of people died from that booster shot too. Nobody talks about it, but a lot of people died from that dang booster shot. Let's see. I never wore a mask during the COVID. Yeah, that would have been way funner not to have to wear one, not to be in an area. I mean, here we would have people like chase you down, like literally running just to chase you down and tell you to put your freaking mask on, even if you weren't close to anybody. You could be in an open field and you'd have some ding dong out there saying, you need to be wearing a mask. I'm like, for what? There's nobody around here except for you. And there wasn't anybody here a minute ago until you saw that I wasn't wearing a mask. So you got to come right up in my face and tell me I got to put a mask on. It's like, wait, what a bunch of hoo-ha. Yeah, there were a lot of people scared of losing their jobs. There was a ton of people here. This is why our homeless just exploded all over the country. So many jobs shut down. It was absolutely crazy. I got to kind of watch what I say when it comes to this because I got a community guidelines strike talking about all this stuff a while back. And I was just regurgitating what a bigger YouTube channel said. but YouTube took it out on me and said I wasn't allowed to talk about the same stuff. So I was like, okay. So I got a community guideline. That guideline strike's going to be over on the 19th of this month. So I'm kind of happy there. So I'll be able to make another mistake at some point and not have to worry too much, because yeah, you can totally lose monetization. You can lose the whole entire YouTube channel. You know, if you say something out of context wrong, or, you know, this is why I try to talk from experience and opinion. All right, so what's going on? A couple weeks later. Yeah, we got COVID here too. It ran through the house. My son never got it out of all the dang things, but it almost wound up killing my daughter. My wife and I were just about incapacitated at the time, but we found her daughter unresponsive on the floor. I wanted to pick her up like a dad would do and run her to the car, take her to the hospital, get her help. But I wasn't. We were suffering. We were all sick. I wasn't able to drive, let alone think about, okay, what do I do? My daughter's like unresponsive. We got to get her breathing again. She had a huge fever. We got her cooled off. We got some water in her. The ambulance came. Everything ended up great. She's just fine. She's in the other room playing Minecraft. But yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy time. Let's see what else we got going on here. Hey, Don. Always seeing the person in a car wearing their mask. It's so ridiculous watching people ride around with the mask on. Now, here in Alaska, it is pretty common to see people riding motorcycles with masks on their face, because you don't want to get the dust. You don't want to get the volcanic ash, because that's what we have here. That stuff, you know, the silt you see on the mud flats, that's all silt. That's settled down volcanic ash. And if you should breathe that stuff in, there you go. You got cancer coming pretty quickly. But because the worst of it's out in the Palmer area. You don't hear a lot of people talking about that. Palmer, Alaska is one of the highest cancer rates, I think, in Alaska. So people that live there, and they get the wind that comes down the river, and this big, giant, enormous plume of dust gets kicked up, especially in the summertime, and they wind up breathing it all in for, 3 or 4 months straight. And then all of a sudden there's cancer everywhere. Go figure. I mean, it's crazy. And that's where one of the VA clinics is right there in Palmer. What a bad place for it. Just move that clinic out of there. Yes, that is ridiculous. Let's see. Johnny, life is beautiful. Enjoy every moment. Hey, thank you for jumping in there, Johnny, and saying that. I appreciate you. Stephen Tracy, life was not beautiful when they locked everybody down. I thought it was so peaceful, man. I mean, just because mainly I had a job I had to go to. And when I left the house, it was like there was nobody around. It was like those creepy movies you watch where the streets were just silent. No kids were out playing. For a period of time, it was heaven to me because I'm not necessarily a people person. But yeah, it was just so quiet. I should have, if I was doing YouTube and thinking ahead, I would have filmed a lot of that, because there was literally nobody on the road going to or from work. I might see one car and none of them were a police car. I mean, you almost had to go buy a police officer. There's so few police officers roaming around. I don't even know what the police were doing at that time. Let's see. What do I mean? Numbers, blah, 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 facts. And now there, if you want to be a critical thinker, eat a lot more meats and fats, kick out all the sugars in your life, and you're going to think really clearly. Whatever you think you're doing, if you're on sugar, excess carbs, high fructose corn syrup, if you kick all that out of your life, you're going to be a critical thinker naturally when it comes quick. And I think that's why there's a lot of hatred towards the carnivore diet, because they're finding that out. The more people that are getting into the carnivore diet, they're able to communicate better. They're able to function better. They're not in as much pain. They become stronger naturally, quickly. It's crazy. It's crazy how it all works. It was great driving a truck with everything shut down. Roads were clear. I would imagine. I mean, I don't even know what the lower 48 would have looked like, because I was up here in Alaska and I could only see what was going on here. We didn't have a lot of back and forth traffic to the airport because people weren't traveling. Some of the airlines were dang near shut down. We did have our regular flights going to Prudhoe Bay and back. We had some international flights that a lot of them were just stuck on the tarmac to refuel. They weren't even allowed to get off the plane. I couldn't imagine flying here from Russia or China all that way and being stuck on our tarmac and not allowed to unboard, use the restroom, stretch your legs for a little while. I would have been miserable. Absolutely miserable. Hey, do you guys know we got a war going on right over there? Nobody talks about it. There's a war right over there. Yeah. We're not allowed to talk about that stuff on YouTube, but only certain people are. You know, just like my community guideline strike, I'm not allowed to repeat what anybody else says. Because when I say it, it's not factual. When they say it, it's factual. Got stuff cruising through here, and you aren't angry unless the people like me are telling you the truth. The funny thing is, you know, when my hormones changed incredibly fast. You know, my sensitivity type hormones when I started eating a meat-based diet and I got away from the sugars. Because I believe all that sugar, the high fructose corn syrup and all the extra carbs that I was eating was making me real twitchy. Like, you know, these little woke teenagers you see on TV all the time where they're just upset and screaming at the sky. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt for a period of time. And a lot of that was because I was eating garbage junk food. Now, as soon as I got away from that, you know, because before those people used to offend me, I look at them now and I'm just like, okay, that's literally how I feel about stupid these days. It's like, okay, you can like sit in your corner and keep screaming all you want. You can yell at me all day long. I don't care, because it's not going to affect me one way or the other. It's because I'm just not letting them inside anymore. Let's see, we talk about the UK, bro, but I understand the sickening, nauseated propaganda commercials telling you to get jabbed. Yeah, those were getting old. I'm glad they finally stopped. I remember Netflix was pumping them out. YouTube was always pumping out, you know, COVID recommendations underneath the screens. Always talking about disinformation, but then when you look at some of the information they're providing, it's all wrong anyways. It's like, okay, so you're against disinformation or people's opinions, which is considered disinformation because it's an opinion at that point. So yeah, I had to go through a course to learn how to talk on YouTube and not specifically get myself in trouble. There was actually a YouTube course that I had to take to get my community guideline strike to go away. Let's see. Yes, I was in the military. That's like. So if you die from, that went quack. I don't know where that went. Yeah, they did a lot of places. Now Jerusalem, is it Jerusalem that did the 100% vaccination policy? So they're basically the guinea pig for what the shot's doing or did. So they're the ones that the world's looking to because they have the largest population of people close together that so they can actually see, you know, what the shot's doing, if it's good, bad, or otherwise. But so far it doesn't seem to lessen anything. I'm not, you know, because I know people that have gotten the shot and they've gotten boosted and they still got COVID and they're not longer here. My head is a company I work for in the summertime. It's called Groundbreakers. We haul gravel. We do excavation type jobs. You know, we do the type of jobs that people pay a lot of money to do because other companies cut corners and this or that, and we don't cut corners. We do a lot of extensive type work. You know, we don't make messes. We don't leave messes. Yeah, so they pay. You know, people pay us good. I just wish that work would start. If it would stop snowing, that work would start sooner. And then we could actually get on with our freaking lives and I could go buy some steaks instead of eating this ground beef all the time. I'm not sure. Johnny, most beautiful thing is that the world is life. Don't live in the matrix. Make your own fairy tale. You can try. You can absolutely try. It helps if you get away from people. The further away from people you get, the happier people tend to be. But we seem to like congregate towards cities, you know, because of services or, you know, hospitals or resources. And I was more happy when I lived out further away, like in the Houston area out here in Alaska. There's not a lot going on there. There's not a bunch of big stores. There's not a whole bunch of big buildings. There's not like a rush hour traffic. You do get a lot of moose. You get a lot of wild animals. I was much happier the further out. But now that we have children and most of the jobs, the good paying jobs are right here in town, that means I don't have to drive, 50 or 60 miles just to go to work, just to drive 50 or 60 miles to go home and take a nap to come right back. So that's the reason we live in the city now. Let's see. I mean, fear is what's important. Fear is what motivation. People love fear, dude. They love hearing about shortages. They love hearing about inflation. They like to be scared. People like to be scared. I used to make videos around shortages and prepping type talk, and talk about just random stuff that was going on. Sometimes free government giveaways were on the topic for the day. You all right down there? Dog was making twitching. I thought my dog was having issues. That would be a bad time. That would end the stream real quick. Let's see. People talk about not being a nation don't live in the matrix, but 99% of the people are and do. About 80% of people want to be controlled. That is an actual thing. It's researchable. But yeah, 80% of people don't want to be a leader. They want to be controlled. Our big governments have known this for hundreds of years, because a lot of people, they just want to just be left alone. It's like, all right, just give me just enough happiness to be satisfied with your political garbage and your political nonsense and just leave me alone. That's what 80% of the people want. And they just want to be, somewhat led. They want stuff handed to them a little bit, but they want to feel like they're working for something. But they don't want to be totally useless. How many more 7s are there going to be? I don't know. Alaska, do you have any snow dogs? No, I got a flat tire dog. Her name is Sadie. My wife rescued this dog from the village. Nome is the village, by the way. But yeah, she was rescued from the village. She was caught getting in the trash all the time. And up in the village, they just shoot these dogs. And she's still a trash dog. She loves getting in the trash, rummaging in the trash. She's been a really good dog. She's got awkward legs. That back leg over here, yeah, that one. She fell out of a pickup truck up in Nome at one point, I believe, and it wound up costing my wife and her boyfriend back then a lot of money to fix. But so it looks kind of funny. That makes me better than anyone who took it. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. The things that stayed on the same road, and the road of critical thinking and irrational thought. Regardless if you took the shot or not, it doesn't make you a better person or not. It just makes you a person that didn't take the shot. So I wouldn't have that mindset wrapped around that thought process. Said, I love that you guys saved her. You're great people. Yeah, she's a good hunting dog. She likes to go bird hunting and stuff like that. So she's good out in the woods. I don't think she's capable of hunting anymore, because I tried to take her for some walks not long ago, and she's not. She doesn't make it very far. We used to walk her up to my kid's school, and it's uphill, up some stairs, and she wasn't able to make it up the stairs anymore. So yeah, she's almost 100 and something years old in dog years. So she's lucky to be alive right now. I think it's the garbage that keeps her alive. Yeah, let's talk about something more fun than COVID and the vaccinations. I mean, that whole COVID thing was an absolute mess, and it seems like they keep trying to recreate the fear around the next thing. Bird flu. They tried to hype that up. Like right after it came out, I immediately got some weird flu. I mean, it was so funny. But since I'm doing carnivore, I'm eating healthier, and I have an immune system because I'm not eating junk food. I'm not eating high fructose corn syrup and a lot of other carbs that create a lowered immune system. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was a couple days. I didn't feel great. I just call it the bird flu. It wasn't diagnosed as the bird flu. It was a flu, a cold. And I didn't care. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that bad. I didn't feel like I had the man flu. You guys know what the man flu is. That's a thing. That's a real thing. Where you can take the roughest, toughest, gruffiest guy, and then he turns into a little tiny kitten, and he just needs pampering. Yeah, I don't like the man flu. The man flu is horrible. mm. Okay, what else we got? All right, numbers give you logic. Life gives you miracles. What you choose 7. Why are you guys talking about 7? What does that have to do? Oh, hi. Look what I got. I got a kitty. What are you doing? Why are you like jumping up there like that? Say hi to everybody out there. So, Cat, this is YouTube. YouTube, this is Cat. Dusty. And my other cat's Gray Bear. She's horribly fat. I call this one Dusty because they look really, really similar. And yeah, you're fine. You don't have to like tiptoe behind me, like awkward. You should be used to cameras by now. My daughter is a natural in front of a camera too. She can just get on a camera and walk around and talk. And she's done it before. I was like, holy cow, you know what you're doing. Why don't you just do it? She's only a young child, so you can't get her doing that yet. Not quite yet. But when she gets older, I think she's got something going on there. Let's see. Intellectually lazy too, actually research, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And of course, I know what you don't agree with, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And believe, going to tell. Oh. I don't know. I ain't got no miracles from that dang vaccine. If that's what you just said. It becomes a miracle when you choose the vaccine. No, nothing became a miracle when I choose the vaccine. I got sick. I got 3 days freaking sick. Both times. And neither one was any worse or any better than the previous one. It was both crap. I mean, it was like you fed yourself an illness and you were sick. I get the same thing from the flu vaccine. That's why I don't go get the flu vaccine. The flu vaccine almost killed me. So I stopped taking them. And then they get all upset. Oh, you haven't had a flu vaccine. And I was like, just stop it with all the vaccines. The extra, tetanus shot. Okay. Knock it off with the other stuff. Well, we're getting a little bit sideways here in the comment section, guys. So we're going to cut this live stream short. Again, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Big John here in Alaska. This is my kitchen. I've been losing weight with fasting and other type eating principles. I've done keto, KetoVore, carnivore. I started out years ago doing the whole vegan thing for a period of time. Did vegetarian for a little while. I'm pretty well rounded when it comes to talking about health and nutrition at this point. And for the last year, I've been focusing on weight loss and myself getting in better health. I've lost up to 132 pounds in the last year. And so far, this is the stuff that I try to get out here and share. All of the processes of all the things I just mentioned led me down a road to the carnivore diet, and that's what I've been doing. And I like to share what I've been eating, how things make me feel, certain products and stuff like that at times tends to slow down weight loss. So I like to talk about those topics. If these are anything you're looking at, and if you're morbidly obese and suffering, I just want to say there is a solution out there, and it doesn't have to be a hard one, because I've lost the last 132 pounds in a single year with little to no exercise. And that's something I had done, and I finally accomplished it. And it didn't take rocket science to do it. I didn't need a bunch of medical professionals to hold my hand, or anybody at the gym saying, you need to do this, you need to move more. Because quite frankly, if you're morbidly obese, moving more can be potentially dangerous until you get some of the base weight off. And the majority of that's just water weight. That comes off quick. So again, guys, we're going to cut this stream right here, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. There'll always be a next one. All right. Every problem is a gift. All right. We got to go, guys. I'll see you later. Take care.